The caste system. The legend goes that the stories about the origins of the world were revealed to a chosen few through the musical vibrations of the cosmos. This select group of people were called Brahmins, who were priests, scholars, and teachers. We Brahmins can hear the universal music that tells us the secrets of the cosmos. Because they were the only ones who could understand the destiny of men, Brahmins were greatly respected and belonged to the highest caste. But what is a caste?
A group of friends?
No. A sports team. A cosmic music group?
Good guesses, but that's not right. You see, a caste was a way of organizing people, giving them a place in society from the time they were born. Each child belonged to the caste in which they were born, and they usually had to fulfill this role for the rest of their lives. If a child was born into a family of Brahmins, the child would become a priest and would have many privileges. But he could usually never become, say, a warrior, which were the second most important caste. The Kshatriya. Rulers were also part of this caste. The warriors were strong and brave, but they would usually never be anything but warriors. They couldn't even marry a girl from another caste. In fact, they couldn't even talk to her.
Oh!
The third caste was the Vaishya, who were farmers, artisans, and merchants. And finally, there were the servants, called Sudras. But if you think being a servant was the worst job, then you're wrong. There were people even lower than the servants, called Dalits. Dalits, formerly called untouchables, were people who did not belong to any caste and usually had to do the worst jobs. Dalits couldn't drink from the same sources of water as other people, and people could never touch them, or even their shadows. If this happened, the person would become contaminated and had to be purified. Being a Dalit was definitely a hard life. Let's dig a little deeper with our time compass and find out how societies were organized in other parts of the world. In ancient Egypt, for example, the pharaoh was at the top spot of society. Just like a Brahmin in India, a pharaoh was thought to be divine. Under the pharaohs were the priests, who were in charge of serving the gods. Under the priests were the scribes, whose greatest ability was that they knew how to write. Below them were the soldiers in the army, who were responsible for protecting and ensuring the unity of the empire. Then came the merchants and artisans. And a little further down from them were the farmers. The lowest caste in Egypt, those who had to do the worst jobs, were the slaves.
Ah, just like the Dalits in India.
Similar, but not the same. Firstly, the Dalits in India did not belong to any caste, which means they weren't even considered to be members of society, and did not have any rights. Secondly, in India, when somebody was born in a caste, they had no other option but stay in that role for their whole life. In ancient Egypt, however, the system was not as strict. For example, there were merchants who married peasants, and even the poorest people had rights. In fact, if they managed to save enough money, they could buy their own lands and improve their lot in society.